Alright, the Nzxt H6 Flow non-RGB. Is it worth the money? Let's find out. But first, let's do a quick little unboxing, magic style. Huh? Did it work? No? Probably looked bad. My editing isn't great. Alright, so what we got here is the H6 Flow non-RGB from Nzxt. I picked this up for 120 bucks Canadian on Amazon. That's going to be well under 100 bucks US. Let's pop these panels off here. So the side glass here, just quick captive thumb screw. This little tab here, out, lift, off. Gonna set that in the box here. Because the last thing I want is to smash a panel on camera. That would be entertaining, be expensive to replace. Then let's just pop this one off here too quick. So there is, on all these vented panels here, there is no extra filter. This case is essentially your filter. Let's just move this out of the way quick so you can take a look over here. So I don't know if you can clearly see that, but there's some good porosity in there. Plenty enough for ventilation, but also to semi-filter some of the dust. Now with this being a top panel, there's a good chance that anything you mount up top here is going to be exhausting, unless you don't vent anything or mount anything at all to vent. I'm not sure. That's totally your choice, your build, your decision. But the exhaust is going to blow your air up through. So this panel, though has no filter, you're not going to have to worry really about dust going inside of it and being pulled in from the top, unless maybe you got horrible negative pressure in your case. And any dust that might settle on the top, it's just going to blow up and off and gone. Maybe give it a quick wipe every now and then, but you're not really going to need to worry about dust coming into your case through this panel. I'll set this one aside too. The other panel here is this side one. Now the thing I love about this case, and it's my first dual chamber case. I've had a few cases over the years that over the last 2 years that I wanted to build into, but have sent back because one, dropping one and breaking it, two, the case having a horrible defect where the side was essentially caved in, and another one where the glass was shattered across and I didn't realize it. Apologize for that background noise. That's my cat deciding that she wants to make an intro into the video, and she's smashing around some marble coasters right now. So I apologize for that sound. With this, now going back to what I was saying, with the dual chamber case, instead of the venting and the front intake being here, where the glass now is, it's on the side. What I like about that is it's a completely different look than a normal standard case that is just a straight rectangle basically, or a big just squared off box. Stuff a little depth to it, a little character to it. With some RGB lighting here, you can show off some beautiful lighting through it. You're not going to worry about blocking this if you set it on a desk like this. All I would do is maybe keep a gap like this, because as you're going to see, this panel here too has a mesh cutout, and that's for your PSU to exhaust the hot air out. For this panel though, no thumb screws, nothing like that, just snaps off. Nice subtle. Not sure if you can see that Nzxt logo in there. Beautiful, again, same porosity as on the other panel. So put it down here. Then onto this one. So your back panel, much like your side glass panel there, one captive thumb screw. Now with this, the front glass just sits into a little channel that you just lift out. This one on the bottom, though the top is held in with two little snap-in, I don't know what you'd call those, brackets or mounts or screws or something. This has two little welded on, almost like little pegs that stick out and go into these little channels cut into the case. Now, if you were to take this case panel here and just pull off like this, you're probably gonna bend your panel. So my advice, I'll show you on the side here, so you don't bend that, pop it like this, take your thumb, put it in there, up and out. Because as you can see, I'm not sure if you can really see it, there's two little pegs here. And those go into the little channels here. See if I can get that on camera. I apologize if you can't see this clearly. I'm just shooting on 14 Pro Max here. So there's your channels. Maybe you can, maybe you can't see that. And though this case is built really good, doesn't really flex, The metal here that these pegs are on doesn't seem extremely durable. So if you were to yank it like this, there's a chance you bend the case or you bend this panel. I hate to see that happen. Now going back to that PSU exhaust, again, this has your mesh here. Piece is going to mount sideways, blowing your exhaust out this way. No filter, again being exhaust, I don't think you should really have to worry about that. After you build the PC and you put this on your desk, like I said, keep a gap of about this from the wall, because you want to make sure that hot air can come out and not be blocked and not trying to force its way in through the channel pass-throughs or the cable pass-throughs here or up through the side or something. You want to make sure you give nice, sorry about that, nice, clean, smooth airflow, no blockages, anything like that. Let's get this thing out of the way, because all I'm going to do is just break this or wreck something. Alright, so really quickly, let's take a look at the side of the case here. So in here, you've got, I don't know, about an inch maybe, about a thumb length of depth there with a mesh bottom, as you can see there. And so that is for you to mount two 140s. Now, I would have loved to have seen an option where it either came with a case or an extra thing you can buy. Just like a plate you can install across here in case you don't want to do what this is intended for, which is to mount two 140 mil fans. Again, that's 140s. There is not holes for 120s. That is 140s and they're not 120s. Though I've seen on Reddit online some people 3D printing a 140 to 120 mil bracket for your fans to make them fit. Consider that, but I think I'm just going to stick with how the case is intended to be used. Now up top, these aren't included. These are obviously my extras that I picked up for a wicked deal, actually, for 10 bucks a fan. I got 240 mil Lightwings Be Quiet fans up there. I've kind of been going back and forth. Do I want them on the top for exhaust or do I want them in the bottom? I think what I'm probably going to do is take these, mount these on the bottom for intakes, so for some extra intakes. You'll have the intake here and the intake here. So I'll get airflow coming up this way. Probably not going to mount the fan here, because I'm going to stick a 360 mil rad up here, and that's going to be my exhaust, and that's going to be sufficient airflow for the graphics card, for the computer, for all the components, the meat and potatoes of the case. It's going to be cooled with airflow here and airflow here. Again, this is glass, so not going to be any intake here, but 3 nice fans here. It's going to do pretty awesome. You might be wondering, where are the fans? Now, this is the non-RGB, so it came with 3 just plain black Nzxt fans, but because those are proprietary connectors, and I didn't feel like digging that deep into the Nzxt system, where you go one thing Nzxt for ease of use, you basically gotta go everything Nzxt. I didn't want to go that route, because to buy enough fans to fill this case in an AIO, I could be looking at $200, $300, $400 Canadian. So instead, I took those 3 fans, sold them on Facebook Marketplace, I think for 25 bucks. And my intent now is to buy 3 120s, stick them here. Not sure if I want to go light wings all the way through, so 3 120 mil light wings here, so I get that halo look everywhere. Or if I want to go to light wings down there, maybe some Arctic P12 RGB fans here, maybe even some cheap Thermalright fans, I'm not sure. This is kind of something I'm going to figure out as I go. But the options are absolutely endless. Now, for cable management, for a first-time PC builder like me, or an experienced builder, the cable management in dual chamber case is always going to be better. Just how it is. Because, though there is some cases like H7 Flow, for example, there's channels where you can cable manage and make it look pretty good. You still got to do some sort of cable managing to an extent, whereas with this, you've got so much room to cable manage in here. And I'm talking, pretty deep to cable manage in there. So really, you could take your power supply, mount it in here. All your PSU cables could just jam up and around here. Your fan cables come through here. Use the included Velcro strips they have. Also tons of little points where you can mount a zip tie 2 or 3. A couple zip tie points up here as well too. It's going to be able to tuck those cables away, but you're not going to have to go crazy with the cable management. If you really wanted, you could bundle the cables, stick them all on here, shove them up under here. Your panel's going to fit no problem. I don't think you're gonna have to go crazy with cable management to make this PC work as far as fitting that back panel on. Who knows, maybe you've got a ton of cables and that might change. But if you're not somebody that mounts SSDs or hard drives, this hard drive tray here, a little captive thumb screw, just get it to come loose, pops up, and out, and that creates way more cable management space. Again, sorry about that sound in the background. My cat is now playing with her toy. She obviously wants to be the star here. That's okay. Now this hard drive tray here, you can mount 2 SSDs and 1 hard drive there, hard disk drive in there. But if I want additional storage, I'm just going to mount it on my hard drive or on my motherboard, so I'm not going to need this. So now I've just given myself even more room for cable management. As you can see here, got the standard computer cable, or your case cables, USB. Now, something I want to point out that I've noticed with a couple cases that I picked up, the front panel connector and HD audio connectors usually, well, in most cases, are individual pins or individual little connectors that you've got to fight and finagle and get to fit just right on there. The Nzxt, what they've done is, and it's not groundbreaking, other companies have done this as well, it's all in one. Got one for HD audio, one for front panel, you plug it, away you go. It's just, for somebody like myself who's a first time builder and has really no idea what they're doing, this is just, that's amazing. Now, the cable pass through here is plenty big. It's perfect. You'll be able to fit, if you want to put some PS2 cable extensions in there, they're going to fit beautifully. They're going to look nice because how they're going to come out around. It's going to look awesome. Now, something I've seen in some people's videos, the fact that just based on this kind of tighter cubby here, not all fans are going to fit. Not all 120mm fans are going to fit. The Liam Lee Uni fans, I guess there's a bit of a difficulty in getting these fans to fit because what you'll see here is the slots for the fan cables to pass through. They're right there. So if the fan's pushed up against it, like with the Uni fans, and those little mirrored, or those little silver pieces on the side, it's probably going to be a tight fit or might not fit correctly, so it could be a bit of extra work to get to fit. I've seen some people moving those little pieces, but I'm not going to be running those kind of fans, so that's not really a concern to me. Just something to be mindful of. Up top here, just going to give you a show here quick. So those two 140s fit nice. You could fit a 240mm rad, 280mm rad, or 360mm rad. Now, if you're just going to be mounting a couple fans up here, from what I read, Nzxt says that they recommend not putting 3 120mm fans up here for exhaust, as the belief is this 120, as it intakes air, it's going to be sucked up and out right away by this 120. So stick with probably 2 140s, or if you're going to go with your 360mm rad, there's going to be some resistance from going through the rad, so apparently it's not going to be as much of an issue. Again, this is all things I haven't tested yet, so this is all just what I'm reading. And that's something that I can attach that in the comments below if you guys wanted to read that as well too. But if you mount a 360mm rad, I think you're going to be totally fine with mounting an additional 2 140s down here. Even if this one were to somehow seep out this way, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because you're going to have sufficient enough intake and sufficient enough exhaust that I think it's going to be slightly positive pressure and be totally fine. So, now wrapping that up, what do I think of this case? Well, for the 120 I paid, I think it's great. I think it's perfect. It's right in line with a lot of other middle of the pack to slightly higher cost cases, but the case quality is not lacking at all. The build is great. It's very solid. I don't feel any shake or jiggle. The panels are glass, not acrylic, not fake glass, not plastic, nothing like that. Everything feels really, really nice. They include accessories. You get tons of screws, extra screws and stuff, which I've got now in a little box now, so I didn't bring those out, unfortunately. Everything feels perfect. There's going to be no issues as far as quality when building this case. You've got tons of room, but this case is not that big. Keep in mind that compared to other dual chamber cases, this case is actually pretty small. It's going to fit perfect on a mid to smaller size desk, no issues. What I would probably do is get the measurements online, maybe make sure it's going to fit in your space before buying it. Don't just take my word for it. I'm sure there's some tight spaces, but this is a pretty small little island I'm on here. And you can see that fits pretty good there. If I have a small little monitor, a little keyboard, it'd probably be just fine. And this couldn't be much more than 3 feet, if that. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Tell me if you use this case. Have you built in it? Have you built in an Nzxt case before? What do you think about it? And better yet, put in the comments below, what fan should I run in this case? Should I go all light wings? Should I go light wings in the bottom? Different kind of fans here? Should I sell these fans? Should I take them back? Should I do a giveaway with these fans and go completely a different brand in there for fans? Let me know what you would do. I know there's tons of fans out there. Chances are there's going to be some fan reviews along the way to see what's the best for everybody. I'm going to be more looking at the budget or middle of the road oriented fans as far as pricing goes. You know, extra funds just really isn't there, and why overpay for fans when there's so many good budget fans out there that will do a very similar job? Anyways, guys, that wraps this video up. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you guys watching. This channel is so new. We're only going to get better as we go. We're only going to have more and more uploads. I'm going to try to do weekly content uploads, and I'll throw in there some gameplay, some stuff like that. Maybe a game of the week or a game of the month, things like that. I'd like to give you guys a channel that's a one-stop shop for everything. You want some gaming news? I got it. You want some tech reviews? I got it. Want some PC build stuff? I'll have it. I'm going to be doing stuff for the average consumer. I'm just going to tell you what you care about, what you know, which is it worth it? Is it worth my time to buy? Is it worth building it? Is it worth owning? What are the pros? What are the cons? And something like this, there aren't very many cons, but there's a whole lot of pros. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in to D93 Tech. We'll see you later.